My Uncle Trent sucker punched me outside practice, screaming I was a monster. 7 years later, that same family suddenly missed me and wanted me back. They didn't call to apologize. They called because the lie finally cracked. I was 20, finishing college, playing baseball, thinking my life was set. One afternoon, my phone exploded with missed calls and texts. Pick up now, you sick freak. We're calling the cops. I called my mom, Diane, and she answered, already screaming. Before I could speak, my Uncle Trent came out of nowhere. First, his fist hit my face. Then, I tasted metal and felt my nose break. Next, I hit the ground and saw blood hit the pavement. Then, my dad Mark grabbed him and barked, "Get up, get your ass home." After that, I drove home half blind, shaking. Then, I walked in and saw the whole family waiting. Finally, my mom Diane screamed, "Why did you do it?" My little cousin Kayla, 12, said I'd assaulted her at a July 4th party. I said I didn't, but nobody even paused. My Uncle Trent yelled to call the police. My mom Diane sobbed like I'd confessed. My dad Mark punched me in the gut so hard I folded. He had my clothes in garbage bags, then shoved me outside. When I knocked, he flung the door open and pushed me down the steps. "Leave," he screamed, like I was contaminated. I crashed on a teammate's couch that night, then lived in my old team van. I called for a week until my dad Mark texted, "Stop contacting us, rotten hell." A few weeks later, the university called about tuition. My parents had cut me off and blocked me, so I couldn't pay. No loan, no cosign, no baseball. I worked nights, lived in that van through winter, and still crawled to graduation alone. After that, I spiraled. Alcohol and drugs kept me numb. I bounced jobs, trusted nobody, and panicked whenever I saw kids. Then the van died, no heat, no AC. One night, I got close to making a permanent choice. I stared at my phone, waiting for a single text that never came. That's when a woman I'd never met ran up behind me. She didn't know my name. She just said, "Stop, please, come back." I followed her voice down, shaking, and EMTs took me in. When I was released, she was still there. She fed me, let me crash at her place, and got me a job at her dad's company. I quit cold turkey, and she pushed me into therapy. Eventually, she became my wife, Elena, and her family became my first safe place. 7 years passed. I stayed sober. I finished business school. I bought a car and a house. My wife, Elena, and I were expecting our first baby boy. Then, in the middle of a workday, my phone rang. I answered without looking and heard, "Oh my God, is this you?" It was my mom, Diane. I said, "Screw off," and hung up. The calls kept coming. Then a voicemail landed that froze my blood.